Hey there, I'm Katie from LifeFluent, and welcome to another episode of In the Know, LifeFluent's sex education series where no topic is off limits. Today's episode is all about contraception and avoiding unplanned pregnancy. And people use birth control for many different reasons. For the first and most obvious reason is to control birth, meaning to not get pregnant or to not have your partner get pregnant. But people also use birth control for many other things, like lightening a heavy period or PMS, as well as acne and other conditions like endometriosis. But for today, we're gonna focus on birth control for the purpose of not getting pregnant, which means methods that are statistically the best at preventing pregnancy. And let's start with a question. What is the best way to not get pregnant? Like 100% chances you or your sexual partner are not getting pregnant. Write it down on your follow along worksheet. Ready? Not having sex means you're 100% not going to get pregnant. Or having sex with the same sex partner, you also won't get pregnant. Anytime you have sex in a heterosexual relationship, meaning a person with a penis and a person with a vagina, regardless of how careful you are, there is a chance of getting pregnant. No contraceptive method is 100% other than abstinence. However, there are methods that are as close as you can get, meaning 99.999% effective, and can be paired with other methods that are also effective, making it very unlikely to get pregnant. Let's break this down. Here are the most common forms of birth control, and keep in mind that we will have time to explore these methods deeper in other exercises, so don't worry if this is a lot of information. Let's start with hormonal methods. So there's birth control pills, which are taken daily to prevent ovulation. We have the patch, which is a patch that's put on an arm, for example, or back that releases hormones and is changed out weekly. We then have vaginal rings, which is like a flexible ring placed in the vagina releasing hormones. And we also have injectable birth control, which is a shot administered around every 3 months. The last hormonal option is an implant, which is gonna be a small rod that's inserted under the skin of your arm, releasing hormones over 3 to 5 years. Then we have IUDs, which are a small T-shaped device that are inserted inside the uterus, and those can either be copper or hormonal. And of course, we have condoms, both male and female. And now onto the less effective methods, like the pull-out method, meaning pulling out before even ejaculating. Or fertility awareness methods, meaning tracking your temperature and trying to graph the cycle, determining the days at which you're most likely to be ovulating, meaning more likely to get pregnant. And then there are permanent options like sterilization or a vasectomy, getting the snip, or tubal ligation, which is getting your tubes tied. There are so many options, and today's activity, you're gonna be exploring them, but as I mentioned before, they are not 100% effective. And for that reason, if you don't wanna get pregnant, it's important to try pairing your birth control methods. So for example, one partner can be on the pill and the other can wear a condom. That's double protection. Another combo could be an IUD with the pull-out method. However, you cannot double the hormonal methods. Like, you can't be on the patch and have the vaginal ring. But what you can do if you had a whoopsie with your condom break, or you skipped a day of the pill, because people are unreliable, sometimes we make mistakes, and let's say you're panicking because it might cause an unplanned pregnancy, there are options for emergency contraceptives like the day after pill, which can be taken hours after unprotected sex and can prevent pregnancy only up to a certain percent. But it needs to be taken fairly quickly because it loses its effectiveness as time goes on. Now, it's very important to note that this should not be used as a frequent birth control method. It is only to be used for emergencies or mistakes because it's less effective than most forms of birth control. Plus, it impacts the women's cycle and can lead to irregular periods or other symptoms. Now that we've covered the basics, it's time for a game. The game being called Can I Get Pregnant If? For some background, in my years of being a sex educator, I have heard hundreds, if not thousands, of variations of this same question. Can I get pregnant if? And so today, I'm gonna show you the most common ones that I get, along with some strangely memorable ones. and you'll see what you think. Are you ready? Can I get pregnant if we used 2 condoms? Yes. You should never double up on condoms. Using 1 condom perfectly has around a 98% effective rate and an 85% effective rate if done improperly. But you're probably thinking, wait, what does wearing a condom improperly mean? It means not leaving space at the tip or rolling it down properly or flipping it inside out. But if you wear 2 condoms, it's even less effective because it increases the friction. So yes, you can get pregnant. Can I get pregnant if I'm in a hot tub and my partner ejaculates in the water? No. Sperm cannot survive outside the body for long, especially in hot water. Can I get pregnant if we only briefly start having sex and he doesn't finish? The answer is yes. This method is similar to the pull-out method, meaning you have sex but you don't ejaculate inside the vagina. And it's not very effective at preventing pregnancy for one main reason, and that's pre-ejaculation fluid. And it includes sperm, especially if the man ejaculated recently. So for example, if he masturbated that morning and then you have sex in the afternoon and pull out, that sperm in his pre-ejaculation fluid will risk you getting pregnant. Can I get pregnant if I put a tampon immediately in after sex? Yeah, this one's an interesting one. Yes, you can. You can still get pregnant. A tampon is not a magical weapon that's gonna absorb all sperm, block it. Sperm can travel to the cervix either way. Can I get pregnant if we don't go all the way, but there's pre-cum and rubbing, but never directly going inside? This is a mixed answer. Dry humping or rubbing without entering most likely will not cause pregnancy. It's extremely unlikely, but technically possible. Sperm needs a very specific environment to survive and reach an egg. And outside of a warm, wet area like a vagina, it's gonna die. So open air exposure makes it very unlikely, especially if there are clothes between you two. But it's recommended if there's any genital contact at all, even just rubbing against each other, you probably want to wear a condom to prevent pregnancy or STIs. Can I get pregnant from anal or oral sex? No, but you can get an STD from both, so you should still wear a condom. Last one, and this was one of my more memorable ones, was can I get pregnant if I do a handstand after sex to prevent the sperm from traveling up? Yeah, you still can. And please don't try this at home. Sperm, they're very good swimmers and they can move against gravity. Okay, so we've covered a lot in this episode and it's time to take a deeper look. We have 2 activities that we'll be doing in the next classes. First, we will look at each method more closely and organize them on effectiveness as well as side effects and costs. And the second activity is a web quest where you're going to be looking for resources in your area if you need to access birth control, as well as small group discussion on how to have conversations about contraceptives with partners, because sometimes it can be tricky and pushed on one gender over another. Okay, enough talking. Let's get to work.